Good afternoon, everybody. My name's Joe. I'm the Programme Director for the Masters in Project Management at the Smurfit Business School. And Carol Deering is with me today.
Hi, everyone.
Long time colleague and friend by now, Carol.
Yes, absolutely, Joe.
Absolutely. And Carol is part of our admissions team. So she will be kind of covering any admissions related questions. So the aim of this webinar is to give you a sense of Smurfit and what we can offer you with the Project Management Masters Programme, which we have two flavours of. We have a full-time in-person programme, and as we will cover a bit later on, we also have a part-time fully online programme. So probably take about half an hour, something like that, and just go through the main bits and pieces of the program. Carol, I mean, you might also just act as a, if I don't
Yeah,
cover anything and you think,
I'm very happy to answer any questions in the chat function box or the Q&A. And I have a lot of very beneficial links that I think our participants will value. They can view afterwards. So yeah,
fantastic.
feel free to send any questions you like and
Yeah.
enjoy the presentation.
Yeah, and do, don't be afraid to ask. You've come to the webinar to find stuff out. So please use the chat or the Q&A. I've got both those windows open now. So we will try and address questions as they come up as well. And if you've already got questions in your head that you want answering, don't be afraid to put those in the chat. If we cover them, fine. But if we don't, we will cover them before the end. Okay. So yeah, please do. So I'm going to share my screen. There we are, desktop one. So hopefully you are all now seeing the beautiful frontage of the Smurfit building. And this is our wonderful campus that we all enjoy so much in the heart of Dublin. But as I say, you may be considering coming as a full-time student, in which case you will be walking the leafy glades around the Smurfit school and the corridors of what we used to be a convent and a teaching school for the nuns, but now is our home. Or you may be joining virtually via Zoom, as we're doing today. So we started the project management program back in 2005, so it's been running 20 years now. Not the same program now by any means, because project management has moved on. So we stay up to date with project management. We have lots of links with industry. We have lots of links now with 20 years of alumni who have done the program, gone into business, and regularly now come back to talk to classes and hire from classes as well. We've had a lot of interaction in the last 2 or 3 years with Explio as a company, and Johnny Mooney did the course 6-7 years ago, something like that. He's now one of their senior hiring managers. He won the Project Management Professional of the Year 2021 award, and they come in every year now and do CV reviews with the students, and also hire 2 or 3 of the students every year into Explio, which is a big kind of consulting company now. So we're kind of very plugged into the jobs market, and a lot of you are thinking of doing an MSc because you want a better job. You want either a good job that you're starting into your career, or you're in mid-career and you want to switch, and you want to maybe either get a promotion or you want to make a jump. And to be honest, look, if you come to Smurfit, whether you do the project management masters or you choose to do one of the other masters programs, there's no other better business school in the country to plug into a huge network. And Smurfit is very, very highly regarded, both in Ireland and globally. We're one of the top 50 business schools in the world. We've got triple accreditation, and you're going to get a top class education, whether you come to project management or you come to management consulting or business analytics or strategic management or whatever. So we've plenty to offer you. But I'm the director of project management. And so I'm going to touch about project management today, although I do lecture on a number of the other courses as well. It's, as a skill set, project management is one of the highest in demand skill sets globally, because so many different businesses, whether that's corporations, multinationals, whether that's medium-sized businesses, small businesses, whether that's non-profits, they all enact change. They all get things done by doing projects. So knowing how to set up and run a project well is a skill that opens doors in so many different areas. And we are very cognizant of that this is a multi-field kind of discipline. So it's one of the courses in the university that we allow people to do from any prior discipline. And I've had priests and doctors and nurses and policemen and engineers and business people and, you know, all. So we draw our students from all walks of life, all levels of experience, because, you know, we'll assume no knowledge and we'll build up. Okay. A lot of people think project management must be kind of quite technical and quite mathematics based and statistics and all this kind of stuff. No. Okay. Nothing could be further from the truth. It's about people, it's about communication, and it's about the discipline of organizing how you get things done effectively. But a good probably 2/3 of the course is people skills, communications skills, how to become a better communicator, a better verbal communicator, a better communicator online, a better communicator in front of an audience, whether that's a small audience or whether that's a large audience. You will develop those skills and you will become familiar. And, you know, if at the moment the thought of doing a presentation in front of 50 people fills you with dread, okay, come on the program. Yeah. And by the end of it, you will not be worried about doing presentations in front of people, because you will have done so many of them. The fear will have gone, the competency level will be quite high. And year after year, this is what employers tell us. They say the people that come out of the program, yeah, hit the ground running. They're good communicators. They've got the tools. They can actually start making a difference pretty much from day one. So that's the aim of the program, is to turn out people who can run projects. Okay, so this is not an academic based program. It's a skills based program, and we are going to equip you with the skills for the real world to get things done. And those skills are different today than they were 20 years ago, and we'll come on to that in a minute. Key trends in PM. In the last year, I've written 2 books on artificial intelligence. And artificial intelligence is going to be something that we encourage you to use right throughout our program. Now, I'm not saying that all programs in Smurfit are jumping into artificial intelligence yet and are making it, you know, a day-to-day part of the classroom and all the rest of it. But when you come to project management, you will be. I will teach you about artificial intelligence. We will expose you to the tools. We will encourage you to use the tools. We will expect you to use the tools. It's not cheating. It's the new world that we find ourselves in. And so my job is to graduate people with the skills to operate effectively in the real world today, and in the real world next year and the year after. And AI is now part of that world. And I'm training companies, I'm training the civil service, I'm training government entities in AI as well. So I've got my foot in kind of the academic end of Smurfit and teaching classes here, but I'm also out there in the real world, interacting with large institutions, small institutions, non-profits, and showing them how to use AI as well. So, you know, if you want to get on top of AI in terms of a business scenario and using these tools as they evolve, and I mean, I'm all over AI. I have a LinkedIn newsletter with a couple of thousand followers now, and each week there's a new episode. So, you know, I'm staying on top of it. So if that's of interest, you are going to get exposed to AI. Sustainability is now huge. I mean, you know, 10, 20 years ago, the only people that were interested in sustainability were kind of Greenpeace activists and stuff. But I mean, it's, you know, it's clear that sustainability and environmental issues, climate change, all this kind of stuff, fundamentally important. And projects, and a lot of people coming out of Smurfit will join bigger companies. So they will be fairly quickly involved in large scale projects, big projects that are perhaps having, you know, big effects. So we need to make decisions thinking about our planet, thinking about sustainability, thinking about the supply chains that we're using, the raw materials that we're using, and the choices that we make about methodologies that we use, about raw materials that we use in order to achieve the outcomes that we're seeking, need to be grounded in an understanding of sustainability, of ethics, of the, you know, the best way to do things. And the best way isn't always the most profitable way, but there's a balance to be kind of had between profit and sustainability and environmental concerns and stuff like that. So we will explore this stuff as we go through the program. And when you are running projects, and you will run real projects constantly throughout the program, it's not just learning about projects, you're going to do projects. So we will be expecting you to fold in sustainability, use AI, yeah, you know, use data analytics, these kind of things. So you're going to actually get your hands dirty on this program, and you're actually going to do this stuff. A lot of what we talk about during the program is people stuff, and that starts with you. And emotional intelligence is now recognized as one of the core capabilities in any leadership function. It's not so much what you know, but it's your emotional intelligence, how you can regulate yourself and then help others around you. So there's a lot of work around emotional intelligence and about people management, people skills across the different modules of the program. Most of you will run many of your projects through what we call distributed or virtual teams, i.e. you won't be working in an office with 3 other people where you're all sat around a big table and looking at each other day after day. You know, you will have teams in Sao Paulo and Washington and Canberra and Hong Kong, and you will be expected to kind of leverage and you know, utilize those resources to get things done, even though you've maybe never met each other, maybe never will meet each other physically. So we teach you how to leverage Zoom and Teams and, you know, the different collaborative spaces that are now available to us to maximize your effectiveness. And you will be using these as students. You'll be using these in your, you know, projects that you perform, and then you'll be able to take that knowledge straight into the workplace with you. Okay. Projects enact strategy. So there is a module on strategy. So you need to understand where the top level of business and the decisions that we make about what a business is about, why do we exist, what market are we trying to serve? Well, then the way that you enact strategy is through projects. So, you know, that clear linkage exists, and projects as change agents to make us move forward so that we can realize our strategic intent. And we do that using lots of different approaches. So there's classic waterfall methodology, there's agile, there's Scrum, there's Kanban, there's Six Sigma. And we will look at all these, we will examine these different project methodologies. So when you go out into the marketplace, you're conversant with the language and how to do projects using these different techniques. So this is 2021, July 2021. But I mean, you know, it hasn't changed much since. Project management is one of the most in-demand tech skills. So if you're looking for you know, a master's program that will make you in demand from employers, this is one of the ones that is very, very high. I don't know what the numbers are today. Carol might have them to hand, and if she hasn't got them now, she might be able to look it up on the website while I'm talking. But I think it's kind of, you know, mid-90s percentage people employed from the program 6 months after the program. It's
It's
kind of
actually 93%.
93%, is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, basically, you know, if we've got a class of 50, that means 2 people went traveling and the rest got jobs. So
Or went on to do a PhD.
or went on to do a PhD. Yeah, that's right. So basically, you know, we've got everybody gets a job who wants a job. Some people don't, you know, they go off to do further studies or whatever. But yeah, it opens doors, and constantly employers are coming in. We're having careers fairs, you know, so often. And in the main foyer, you'll walk in and there'll be 10, 20 employers looking for CVs, interviewing people, trying to find people to bring. So, you know, Smurfit is a target rich environment when it comes to getting a job. By 2027, according to the Project Management Institute, which is the world's largest project management organization, employers will need 88 million positions, yeah, in project management roles. So this is not a skill set that's going away. AI is going to change some aspects of project management, and we will investigate that, and you will be up to speed on the bits that you need to know about with AI and the tools that you need to know about. Yes, you will get to learn about certain PM tools like Microsoft Project. We don't cover Jira in the program, but there are a lot of other tools that we do cover. So we will cover that. Yeah. For an online PM program, will students be asked to present on topics in the physical class environment? No. The online program is online. So what we do is we say, if you are in Dublin, or if you would like to come and attend some physical classes, you can always come and join any of the daytime classes from the full-time class, because it's the same material. Okay, so you know, if you want to come in and sit in with a few classes and get the college experience or whatever, you're very welcome to join any of the full-time classes and come and do that. But if you come in on a part-time class, that is an online program. And I have people from other countries doing the program this year who have never seen Smurfit, maybe never will see Smurfit physically, but they're joining the program completely online, doing everything online. Okay, I'm going to leave the careers service one maybe to Carol a little bit later on. Okay, so we'll run through the rest of the PM stuff particularly. So if we just hold the third one there until the end, and then and if Carol can't talk to it, I can probably talk to it, or Gillian maybe as well. Okay, so we've got separate full and part-time deliveries. The full-timers have sessions during the day, maybe in the evening, but not normally in the evening. So mostly daytime classes. The part-timers are always evening, 6 till 8, 8:30, 2 evenings a week during the semesters. So here's the structures. So full-time is 1 year. Okay, so semester 1 is mid-September to the end of November. So that's a 12-week run with no break. Okay, so you have 3 modules, and each module involves 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours in class. Okay, so this is in person, in class, in a classroom at Smurfit. So I teach Introduction to Management of Projects and Change. Bernard Fahy teaches Strategic Management of Projects. We've got a couple of different lecturers teaching Leading Project Teams. And then in semester 2, so then at the end of November, you now get a break until mid-January, and there's nothing really going on then. Okay, so semester 2, project governance and stakeholder management, decision-making and negotiations, and then a company project. And a company project, that's the one that I teach. We bring in a dozen or so companies. You're in teams of 4 or 5, and you will work with a company, helping them develop a part of their business. So creating a feasibility analysis, a business plan, as if it was a real consultancy gig that you were on from, you know, Deloitte or whatever, working with that company. And then you produce a professional consultancy report and a video at the end. And we do that normally in conjunction with Dublin City Council. They have a project called Enfuse. So that's where the companies come from. They come through that kind of channel. And last year we partnered with Enfuse the first time, and we got two of the student teams got through to the Enfuse finals, because all the universities do Enfuse projects. So, you know, that each university sends 1 or 2 teams to the finals, and we came second yes, last year. So we've got teams working this semester on that, and hopefully we'll get a place in this year as well. So the work standard, the level of work that you're producing out of the program, straight away we validated that against everybody else in the country, and we started by coming second nationally. So it just shows you that the expectation and the level of performance of the students is at that top level. Okay. On the part and semester 3, hot topics in project management, I teach that, and the content varies depending on what's clearly a hot topic, but we look at things like sustainability, we look at environmental concerns, we will look at AI increasingly in the hot topics module as well, and alongside the hot topics module you do the capstone project. The hot topics module also has a charity project where you engage with a charity and do some work with a charity, and the capstone project is a final kind of project that you decide on, and it's normally a written piece. It can be a book, can be a thesis, can be a project analysis or whatever, where you work. In the full-time class you do that in pairs. In the part-time class you do that as normally as a single, because most part-timers want to do something that's specifically related to their workplace. So full-timers are not generally in full-time work, and the part-timers are. So full-timers do it in pairs, part-timers do it normally in singles, but they can do it in pairs if they want. Okay, and we work with you to find a topic that means something to you on that. Okay, so the part-time is over 2 years, evening online sessions. So year 1 for the part-timers is Monday night and Wednesday night. Year 2 is Tuesday night and Thursday night. So when you're going to be kind of required to be in front of the computer. We will record sessions for people who can't make the odd kind of lecture session, but the expectation is, if you take the part-time course, that you will be there on the times of the lectures, because we're trying to build a kind of class community. So this is not an asynchronous program, it's a synchronous program. You're expected to be there at those times and interact with your classmates and whoever's running the session, and then there will be other material as well. Okay, Carol's just put a load of stuff in the chat, so that's all really good information, and those links and things, don't press them now. Okay.
Correct.
But maybe at the before you finish, maybe just copy everything in the chat and save it off to another document or whatever, so that you've got all those links. That would be good. Do you want to jump in on anything, Carol, so far?
Joe, I have to say congratulations on your 20-year anniversary. And I remember when I joined UCD, you were already renowned for your academic leadership and project management. And I remember thinking, why didn't I do my MSc in project management? But anyway, look, I think you're amazing, and I know you work extremely hard, and it's so impressive that you have changed the program so much, and that you're always online, always on Instagram, and that you have incorporated the top trends like AI and sustainability into the program. And it made me feel really inadequate that I'm actually going to log on and do an AI course. I do use AI, but you have motivated me, and I want to thank you for that, first of all.
Really?
And the other thing I want to say is, look, what you mentioned it in your presentation earlier on, we can never underestimate, our excellent and very robust alumni network.
No.
And it's wonderful to see that the alumni, alongside our dedicated career development team of excellent recruitment specialists, that they help our students find jobs and employ them. Yes. And this is something very new to me. I knew they were very strong and they were very proactive on LinkedIn, but to hear that they actually reach out and employ our project management graduates. That's very impressive as well.
They come into class. I mean, Johnny comes in with a colleague who is another alumni from the program every year, and they talk to the class, they share their experiences, they take questions or whatever, and follow up and stuff. And I have alumni from Microsoft come in. I have alumni from a number of different companies like that come in. So the class is kind of perpetuating, you know, and giving back.
And also, I think, Joe, you know, the fact that you have the online mode of delivery now is very impressive, which means that our graduates are going to be placed all around the world, and the world is a small place. And also, a qualification from the Smurfit School is so prestigious. You know, we've held the Triple Crown of accreditation for so many years, more than 20 years. And no matter where you go and work anywhere in the world, you know, your MSc qualification will have global recognition. And I suppose from a careers point of view, all I want to say is, you know, UCD has been ranked #1 for graduate employability for the past 5 years.
Yeah.
But we have a dedicated career development team. And a few years ago, we launched this excellent extracurricular program called the Global Leadership Development course.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fantastic. And it means that we are investing in our students and our graduates. And last year, I believe 700 participants from our school participated. And it really differentiates the Smurfit School from other Irish institutions, because, you know, that's the reason why, you know, the career development team, first of all, the goal, your goal, Joe, as a global professor, is to prepare our graduates as future global leaders in business. But we are very, very strong on making sure that the students get good jobs, because we want to have a win-win situation where, you know, our rankings and our accreditation are determined by the student's salary 1 year post-graduation and 3 years. And that's the reason why we have helped to, you know, maintain our excellent Financial Times and AACSB, Equus and AMBA accreditation. So we want to have a win-win situation for the graduates, for their parents, and for us. It's a win-win situation for everyone. And I think the Global Leadership Development course is, you know, really, it's fantastic. And also the work that you do is absolutely amazing. And you're online all the time. I mean, I'm on Instagram, and it never ceases to amaze me how proactive you are. And I really do congratulate you on all your successes. So as Joe mentioned earlier on, I suppose, you know, we have excellent industry corporate networks and project management, and they come to us to, you know, employ our graduates. And we're so serious that every year we do a first destination for each of the majors. So we know exactly, like I was able to tell you that 93% in project management were employed after 6 months. So what we do is we have a survey, it's called First Destinations, and we have the links. And if you join us, you will have all this information of where the students go after they graduate, what companies are they employed in, and also the types of roles. And Joe mentioned that earlier on. So I do think, you know, that's the reason why last year we received 9,000 applications from participants all around the world. So so any other questions? Let's address some of the questions.
Yeah, I mean, the one that came in at 1702 there, elaborate on the career services and guidance provided to students for exploring different career paths. I mean, we've got a fantastic careers team.
Absolutely excellent.
They're amazing, and they prepare you to, you know, for your CV. We have this thing called the VMOC.
VMOC, yeah, that's amazing.
It kind of helps you craft a CV that kind of gets you through all the automated processes that a lot of companies have. We have CV clinics and guidance. There's one-to-ones with the career counselors. They're constantly being contacted by all the employers. Yeah. And so you go and have a careers counsel, you know, session with them. And now they know that you're interested in, you know, a career in one of the consulting firms to do with sustainability. And when stuff comes over their desk that mentions sustainability or you know, consulting or whatever, they'll ping you and they'll say, go and apply for this and stuff like that. So the careers counselling service are fabulous.
And what I really love about the project management program is that every company needs
projects.
employees with good project management skills. You know, you can apply the project management methodology across every single industry.
Everything. I mean, we put students into, you know, all the big ITs, Google and, you know, Facebook and Meta and you know,
LinkedIn and Salesforce and the big fours and
all the big four consulting firms, the
the
banks,
banks.
RTE. But then we also put students into small, medium-sized companies, which is the vast majority of companies in Ireland. And quite a lot of our students, because we have a very strong charity component running through the whole program, because I've always been involved in charity work and you know, that kind of stuff. So we do charity work and we bring charities in, and you know, you will work with charities on real meaningful projects. So
Very impressive. I know you do. I know you're very proactive in that. That's very impressive.
And a lot of our students go and work in the non-profit sector as well. I mean,
the NGOs,
Thea is one of my current full-time students. And I mean, she told me when she started the program, you know, I was having a coffee with her and I said, so, you know, you could have gone anywhere in the world. Why did you come to Smurfit? She said, I came because you do charity stuff in your methods. She said, and this is where I want to be. This is what I want to do. And you're one of the few programs that really have a focus on non-profit and charity work. So she said, that's why I'm here.
So sweet.
Just lovely to hear.
Yeah, so nice. I don't know where you get the time, Joe, to be honest.
We're a business school, but we're
you have excellent time. You have excellent project management skills, I can tell you that. Joe, there's just a question here and I don't know the answer. Does the program also provide the PMP certification?
No, PMP is a certification which is provided by the PMI, and it's a kind of commercial certification. Now, many of my graduates go and get PMP because they know enough to get it. But PMP is also not just an exam, but it's also based on experience, project management hours of experience and stuff. So a lot of my part-time people who are coming with, you know, 5-10 years experience can finish the program, go and sit the PMP exam, get their PMP straight away. The people who are perhaps slightly younger, who've just topped off from a first degree coming up to the masters, they don't have that time in service, if you like. So they will start with one of the other kind of PMI certifications, something like CAPM, or they go and get Scrum or Agile accredited or whatever, or Prince 2. These are commercial accreditations, but you know, you'll have most of the answers for all of those by the time you're finished with us. If you want to go and get those as an extra tick on your CV. Full-time students should expect to dedicate 40 hours a week to coursework. I mean, I know you know, accommodation in Dublin is really difficult and it's expensive and all the rest of it. So a lot of students have to work. You can do about 15 hours a week. I would say if you're going to take on one of the full-time master's programs in Smurfit, whether it's project management or anything else, you can hold a part-time job down and maybe do about 15 hours a week, but that's it. Don't try and do a full-time job alongside a master's. You won't be able to do justice to the master's and you won't get the most out of it. So, you know, plan for that kind of level of work. And it's half individual grade and it's half grades that are based on teamwork. So you're going to do a lot of teamwork. So it's not something that you can just wing on your own. You know, we're training you to operate in the real world, and the real world runs on teams. So you've got to have the time to dedicate to the program.
I think, Joe, because our school is so international, for example, last year we have, you know, students coming from 65 countries all around the world. And
I had 14 countries represented just in the project management class.
Yeah. So I think the teamwork and the project work is excellent and hugely beneficial when you go out into the workplace, particularly in companies like, you know, the big companies like Microsoft and Salesforce and LinkedIn, etc.
Yeah. I mean,
so go ahead.
What do we normally have, Carol? About 50-55 people on the full-time course normally, and maybe 20 on the part-time. You know, we're keeping the part-time a little bit smaller because you're online. And we want, you know, it big enough that there's a mass, but small enough that it feels, you know, kind of reasonably intimate when we're online and stuff. So about 20-25, we're keeping the part-time at the moment. There's no optional modules. No, they're all set modules. So the 7 taught modules, and then the capstone project is your final kind of piece that you do, you know, in conjunction with one of the members of staff supervising you. Average age of students, 25, 26, probably for the full-time class. Maybe 35.
Maybe a little bit older.
Yeah,
There's a good mix, which is very beneficial in the class.
Yeah.
You know, some students are fresh from graduate studies, others come with 3 to 5 years work experience, which is hugely beneficial.
And then in the part-time class, it's probably, you know, we can have people from 30 up to 60. It can be a real mix, you know, because some people are late kind of coming back to a master's program because they want to. Some people are just trying to get a jump in their careers. So that's quite an eclectic mix as well, in terms of age and stuff like that. So
Joe and Carl, sorry, just to say we're running over now slightly, so maybe another minute or two. Is that okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gillian. I just have one question to answer. What does the assessment look like? So as I mentioned earlier on, our website's very comprehensive. So you can drill down, click on the project management course, drill down on the curriculum, and you can look at the, you know, the module descriptors, the learning outcomes, you know, everything you need is on the website.
No exams. It's all continual assessment. It's all real assignments.
Great.
Assignments like you would do in business, and we will train you how to do that. Yeah. So you're not just going to be doing assignments for the sake of assignments, and there's no rote learning. We're kind of asking you to start thinking critically and doing projects like you would do them in the real world, and we will train you how to do that through all the assignments. So.
And then the final question is every grade in your undergrad looked at? So I would say we take a holistic view, you know, so spend some time showing us your motivation for wanting to pursue the course. And your career objectives, don't just fill in like 200 lines if the essay is 300. You know, upload everything, every single transcript for each year of your degree. You can't pass, you know, we allow backlogs and fails a couple. We look at you know, we take a holistic view, the overall grade, and to see if there's continuous improvement right through to the latter part of your degree. And also, you know, any certificates that you think may be beneficial, upload everything, a very good resume. We scrutinize everything. So yeah. And if you're in doubt, all you have to do is email us. Yeah. We need a complete application before we review anything, and email us and we can guide you then.
And we will generally kind of try and make a couple of places available to people who maybe don't come through the regular route. I mean, I came to Smurfit in 2004. I hadn't got a primary degree. Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, no, we do for the MBA as well.
So, you know, if you've got real good compensatory real world experience, but you didn't have a primary degree or whatever, then we will still look at you. And you know,
we are lucky we accepted you, Joe.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you did, because I'm still here. So yeah. Well, we better
sign off. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Okay, thanks everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.